Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 318 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my remote brother from my mother, Sean.
How are we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, brought to you proudly by Derek Bamford. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, share with all your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service does. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where we have a lot of different benefits, but the most popular is our $5 producer tier, where you can watch us record the podcast live on YouTube, as we are doing right now. Some of our patrons deserve a shout out, just like our patron saints, Derek Bamford, and the man who has a bar named after him, John Tinkley, as well as our affiliates, James Solar. Make sure you check out James Games and More on YouTube. If you care about Star Wars Jedi Survivor and you cannot remember what happened in Fallen Order, go to James's channel on YouTube, watch his story recap. Great job, James. Make sure you check it out.
I didn't remember any of that. I might as well have not played the first game. I remember the original or the opening, like in the scrapyard or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything after that, like I remember the characters, but yeah, I couldn't remember what are you even doing in the game? Who are all these characters? What are their roles? So thank you, James. Now I'm ready.
Like, I think I even forgot about the holocron. I remembered that the lady in the ship used to be a Jedi, spoiler alert. But after that, I was like, I don't remember anything. Like the sisters and stuff, I completely forgot all about that. So yeah, he did a great job. As well as Sarah Solar and Mom. Also, our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Dustin Downs, and Chris Peralta. Also, make sure you check out PS Rewind on YouTube. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playerco-op. All one word. Sean, do you have any witty banter? Because I do.
I want to talk real quick.
Okay.
Just because I still just can't even, I don't know. So we're slowly making our way through the John Wick movies. I know I'm way behind. We've watched the first one a few weeks ago. We watched the second one last week, day before Easter. Was that just last week? Or was that 2 weeks ago? I mean, so I guess like a week and a half. Yeah, anyways.
Week and a half.
Night before Easter. Watching John Wick 2. Enjoying it. Great movie. But like, it's just awesome. My adrenaline is running. My heart's pumping. I'm like, this is so cool. All of a sudden, this is at like, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. No, it probably wasn't that late. 9 or 9:30. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, we just hear this bang, and we both are like, "What was that?" So we've got a ring doorbell. We've got a ring doorbell alert. So I'm like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Did something just fall?" And then I noticed the doorbell alert. I'm like, "Okay." So I look at the doorbell. Sure enough, there's these two teenagers that run up to our door full speed and just kick. I don't know what they would have done if they kicked the door open. They probably still would have run.
Nothing.
Kicked it simultaneously, ran into a waiting car, like dove into the back seat, and this
peeled
car
rubber
peeled out. And I think because I was watching John Wick, I'm just like, I'm ready for a fight. And I'm like, I'm like, we don't even have a gun, but all of a sudden I'm like, I wish I got myself a gun. And I'm just like, I'm looking out, not that I'm going to shoot anybody unless I had to.
Well, if they come in the house,
looking out the window. Yeah. I'm like looking out the window. I'm like, I don't think they're going to come back, but I'm like, I almost hope they come back at this point. So I'm like, I'm not ready to go back to the movie yet. I'm going to sit here. And I stared out that front window for 5 or 10 minutes. Long story short, they never came back. They haven't come back, but I was fired up and I was ready for a fight that night. But
Derek,
yeah.
Yeah. So Sean, but the one thing, because I'm rewatching Breaking Bad again, what it makes me think of is when Jane's dad comes into the apartment, like near the end of season 2, and Jesse's like, "What's going on, bro?" And he grabs a baseball bat, but he holds it like this. And I picture you, because you were never the most athletically gifted child.
Hold on.
Dude, you ran like this.
Just because I ran like Flipper, it wasn't that bad.
Yes, it was. It was. But no, you should have a gun. Well, we're not going to get into this. We're not going to get into this. But I will say, when I was like, freaking call the cops, find their faces, get them arrested, scare the shit out. Brittany was like, well, no, they're just Brittany, I love you if you're watching this. But I was like, I can't say anything because I'm mad. No, if someone does that, you have to teach them a lesson. Like, well, that's not okay at all.
Brittany said, what do you, when I'm out there like watching for them to come back, she's like, what are you going to do if they come back? I'm like, I'm going to be here waiting. And if they run at the door again, I'm going to open that door right when they get there. And I'm going to try to grab at least one of them. And she's like, okay, well then what are you going to do? Are you going to pull them inside and get arrested for battery and blah, 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 blah? I'm like,
no, they're
know.
trespassing.
Really thought that far ahead.
No, that's
but
trespassing.
Like, if I pull them inside, as soon as they're on my lawn, are they trespassing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I will just go ahead and pull them inside. But I'm
especially
like,
with attempted B&E. Yes, of course. Them kicking that door is attempted B&E, and you need to have some. Zip ties.
In Tennessee, I'm sure I would be fine. I think the law would be on my side, for better or for worse. But then I'm like, well, gee, what if I pull one of them inside and like hold them down, like? And I'm like, what, am I technically kidnapping somebody at this point? I'm just like, all these things are going through my mind. I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't be thinking about all that in the moment, but since I had some time to think, I'm like, what would happen and what would I do? You know, I don't know. All that stuff started running through my mind, but
I mean,
I was not happy.
I would think you have them on video, 2 people kicking your door. And then those same 2 people come back and you open the door and they're like, whoa, I went to kick and I fell in. And you're like, no, you would be fine. Like, no, citizen's arrest, you're fine. Like, curb stomp. Thank you, Derek. Yes. Kids, if you're watching this, don't go kick somebody's door, because Sean might be there.
I'm the one who knocks. Breaking Bad.
Somebody knocks on this door, they shoot, they pull a gun in, you think of me? No. I'm the one who knocks. I killed it. Sorry. I'm not back to that part yet. That's in 3, I think, right? Yeah, because that's before. Yeah. Is
it 3 or 4?
I think it's. Well, no, it's 4. It's 4.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's. I think that's what has happened since the last time we podcasted. At least it's not video game related. So in other news, yesterday I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie. Both times it was the same kid. Yeah, that kid needs to get kicked in the freaking teeth. You need to sweet chin music his ass. So I saw Mario yesterday with the whole fam. And I have to say, it's like a 40 something on Rotten Tomatoes, right? I think. But it's like 95 or higher with like audience. If ever there was a movie that I didn't care what Rotten Tomatoes said, it's this. I will say this. This movie is easily the best ever video game adaptation in a actual movie format. It's better than Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. It's better than Mortal Kombat, the original one. It's better than everything. It's better than like Assassin's Creed, and it's better than, Tomb Raider, whichever one you pick. Like, it's easily the best, and it's not even close. And it got to the point where, so Jess was asking me as we were walking out, she was like, so when you were younger, and you went to go like watch movies like Batman, Jurassic Park, whatever, did you like yell and clap and like laugh really loud and scream and stuff back then? And I was like, no. I said the only thing I can think of is when Sean and I saw Street Fighter in 1994, Street Fighter, the movie, the game, the movie. And I was like, oh my God, right, just shut up.
And it was just like he did this, and there was just a blue light.
He just like punched him in the chest and was like,
I cannot wait for you to see this movie. You cannot wait for it to come on demand. So it's already over $670 million globally. It's already, I think, the highest grossing video game movie ever. It's probably, well, I don't know that it's going to beat Frozen or Frozen 2, whichever one's number one. I think this has a shot at being the number one box office animated movie ever. This movie is so perfect. By the way, Chris Pratt, perfect. I never for once was like, I'm watching Chris Pratt. Like, he has the perfect delivery. And like, one of the things I remember him saying before the movie came out was like, when you watch the movie, you'll get it why I'm not just like, oh, it's a me, I'm Mario, blah, 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 da. And there's something that happens in the first 10 minutes where you're like, okay, there's that. And then this is why he's doing that and whatever. You'll know it if you've seen it.
So I have to ask, and it's not, I just want to know.
Kombat.
Even if it's a no, it's fine. And if it's a yes, I don't care about spoilers.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I know what you're going to ask. I'm not telling you. Unless you want me to. You're going to ask about the laugh.
Yes.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to see it regardless. I'm going to be upset if it's not there. I'm going to be happy if it is. But like, even so, if it is in there and it happens, I'm not going to be expecting it to happen then. So it's still going to catch me off guard. You'll forget.
Yeah. So by my count, first off, Seth Rogen, it was hard to tell it was his voice a lot of the time, but there are 2 times where he goes, and it was just, I was like, and she was like, what the hell's wrong with you? I was like, well, yeah, you don't know. Never mind. So it happened.
But it's not
twice.
something they like played up for like to pay homage to like everybody it's just like
they did. No, they did. The first time he does it, it's like I think there's like a lull in the fight. And by the way, that fight was friggin' awesome. But there's like a lull in the fight, and then he's like, and I was like, I was Leo. It was so good.
Gosh.
Also the Mario Kart stuff in that. So they showed it for like 5 seconds in the trailer, I think. This is like a 10-minute section, and it is freaking amazing. There, like, I really cannot believe. Also, the voice acting, not just Chris Pratt, everybody in this movie is perfect. Like, Luigi, like, there were some times where I was like, okay, I feel like I'm watching Always Sunny, but it didn't take me out of it. Like, it made sense.
Like, is Luigi very much Charlie Day? Because I feel like in my mind, it seems like Charlie Day is the perfect casting for it. But I'm also like, I don't know that he can go full Charlie Day in this movie and be Luigi. No, like, that almost seems like
he didn't.
It's like the perfect casting, but he can't really be Charlie Day because then it'll be out of like, I don't know. But
he didn't go.
Is that
full...
his real name? Or is that is Charlie Day him? Or is that his Always Sunny character?
No, that's his name. I don't know if it's his birth name. His government name is Ernie.
No, I know, but his name in Always Sunny is Charlie something.
Well, but then like Rob McElhaney plays Mac. Like I think it's all
no,
derivative.
I know.
Yeah,
but I couldn't remember if Charlie Day was the character's name.
That's his actual actor name. If it's real or not, I don't know.
Well, now I got to look it up.
Okay, but so he's great.
Charlie Kelly is the show. Okay.
Kamek was great. Bowser, Jack Black as Bowser. Oh my God.
Jack Black. Yeah.
By the way, there's
I don't think I would ever get if I didn't know that was him. It just sounds like Bowser from the game. Like, I don't know that I would have ever guessed that was Jack Black if I didn't already know.
I told Jess, like, seriously, every 10 seconds I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. And Jess is like, you got to stop. Like, I just want to watch the movie or fall asleep. Like, you can't keep telling me there is like 150 Easter eggs in this hour-and-a-half movie. There's so much stuff, especially like I want to watch it for a second time and not even focus on the main thing. So like when I watch it, I was like, I'm focusing on the action, but there's so much stuff on the walls, and there's like little things, especially like when you're flying through the Mushroom Kingdom and all this stuff. Oh my God, the power-ups in this are amazing. They all make sense. Peach is a badass. Anya Taylor-Joy did a great job. Like, like, and there is a post-credit scene, but it's really, I will say this, it's not worth staying for. Like, if you go see it and the girls are like,
just find it on YouTube or something.
Yeah, if they're crying like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi,
well, I'm only bringing one girl.
Well, I'm saying, but if she is crying like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, just go and I'll tell you what it was. But they're definitely going to make another one. It was weird because like I thought there were times when I was like, I think they've thrown everything at this one movie, but then I was like, wait, no, they didn't do this power up. These people or these things are not in there. There's this guy. There's no, Charge and Chuck. There's like, there's so many other things you can do. And I really think like the plot of the movie, like the main arc, is nothing I expected. But do you want a slight spoiler? A hint? Not even a spoiler, but
yeah.
Okay, if you played Mario Odyssey, it might make sense. But I had no idea that was going to be the plot of the movie. Yeah, you go to New Donk City and you're playing Donkey Kong. No, that's not it. But oh my God, the way they worked in the platforming sections was so freaking good. Like when I was talking to Liza in before I got up here to sign on, she was like, Dad, I love that Mario movie. I'm like, me too, baby girl.
It's my girl.
Me too.
So what, I mean, was Jess just there because everybody else was going? Did she have any interest in it? What were her thoughts?
She wanted to go just because the kids wanted to go, and also because of all her stuff. She's like, yes, if we can do something as a family, let's go. Oh, also, by the way, 2 weeks from now, or a week and a half at this point, the Showboats Play at Home tickets are like $10. I think all 6 of us are going to go if you want to go. Okay. Yeah, it was even she
Who are they playing?
Who are they playing? I don't freaking know. I don't even know any of the teams. What are you talking about? No, there's no wart in this. I will say that, spoiler alert, there's no wart. But like, if you're our age, or if you're in our age group, I will say, you will walk out of this movie with nothing but the biggest smile on your face. Toad is amazing. Toad, I never heard Keegan Michael, whatever Dad calls his name, like Keegan Michael Peele. Yeah, I never heard Keegan Michael Peele at all. Like you could have if I didn't know who it was, you could have given me 100 guesses. I never would have got it. Period. This movie is easily. It's so crazy because like the last Nintendo theatrical release we got was Super Mario Brothers with Dennis Hoskins and
John Leguizamo,
who's mad that Italian Mario is not Spanish, I guess. I don't know, whatever. And then you got Goombas that are the opposite of Goombas. They got a giant body and a tiny head. Like you're supposed to have a giant head and a little bitty body. Like, and they stars. Like, what are we doing? This and there's so many there's callbacks to box art, there's callbacks to the game. The final fight is so freaking good. It went somewhere I didn't think it would go. But the way they did it was so freaking good. And I will say this. Well, do you know the bare bones plot of the story? Of the movie, like what actually is like the
I know that Bowser has captured Luigi and he's rallying all his Bowser bad guys to like go take the Mushroom Kingdom or something. I don't know.
So Jack Black, oh my god, you'll know it when you see it. It happens 3 or 4 times and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. But there's almost like a Toy Story 3 moment near the end, but you're like, this is not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
But I will say this. I'm Mario, you're Luigi. We know that. I'm short and fat, you're tall and skinny. Like it is what it is. Okay. I can't grow a mustache though. Luigi gets his shine is all I'll say. And it's so friggin' good.
Really?
And then, oh my God, you've got to go this weekend. Like whenever Brittany's back, have mom and dad watch what's her name? Maddie. Sorry. Have them watch Maddie and go. Take Kira. Kira will probably fall asleep. That's probably a good thing. So you can just enjoy it. Like this movie is absolutely perfect. This is almost like The Super Mario Brothers movie is to theatrical releases of video game movies as Castlevania, the Netflix series, is to anything video game related ever. Like, that was amazing. This might even be, well, I don't know that it's better, but this is like, it's like 1A and 1B. When it comes to movies, it's one. Easy. There's nothing even close. I love Sonic 2. I love everything they did. The big robot, Knuckles, everything. It was awesome, but you still got the people and the wedding and all that crap. Like, this was just perfect. And it makes me think, like, just if you could just pause it and look at the details, it's like, wow, what if we got a Switch 2 that could actually recreate this? And that's Odyssey 2. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've hyped it up quite a bit, so I hope it can still.
You will be like me. You'll be like, oh, you see that? And then look at that sign, and then that building, and then there's a castle. Like, I swear to God, there's got to be a video, I'm sure, on YouTube that's like, here are the 127, Mario references in the Mario movie. But like, man, it's perfect. It's perfect. Anything else, Sean?
Nothing from me.
All right. What have you played over the last 2 weeks?
Precisely one game.
Okay. So, okay. Okay. Yep.
Despite 2 weeks ago playing it and dying and then be like, yeah, I think I'm done. I decided to go back with a different plan of attack this time. So
okay,
I mentioned
Wait, Derek, Castlevania gets bogged down in the middle of the series, to be honest. I will say this. So season 1 and 2, perfect. Season 3, it's kind of slow. Season 4, amazing. So retroactively, I look back at season 3 being better than I did at the time. That's what I'll say. Sorry, go.
Oh, I don't remember what happened, but at some point, maybe I just started looking more into an actual platinum guide, but somewhere along the way over the last week-ish, I decided I'm going to make an honest attempt to get the platinum for RE4. It doesn't sound awful except for maybe the speed runs, but I've seen plenty of people on Twitter like doing it, and I'm like, well, there's no way they're that much better than me. I'm sure if I find the right guide, it'll say, okay, when you're here, this is where you got to go. When you're here, you can save time if you do this. When you're here, don't bother killing anybody. Run through it, and I'll have to follow a guide.
But also, you got to have the hand cannon, right?
That plays an important role, I think. Or there's some gun that does. I don't remember if it's that one.
It's that.
There's some gun you can get that the upgrade ticket gives you unlimited ammo. And so I know one of the guides I saw was like, do all the, I don't know if you have to do all of them, but do pretty much all of the merchant quests in the village so that when you get to the castle, you can buy that ticket and go ahead and get you unlimited ammo on whatever gun and then use that the rest of the way. And that's a very high level guide to what you're trying to do, I guess. But yeah, so right now I'm doing my second playthrough where I'm trying to beat it without using healing items, beat it only using handguns and knives. I got to get all the stupid statue things that you got to shoot. I got to get all the items that I didn't get the first time. There's like random things like get through the minecart thing without taking damage, get through the elevator thing without it ever stopping, get through the end, like the escape thing without taking damage. So I'm trying to do all those little things. I think that's what I'm going to get on this playthrough. So then I have to beat it on hardcore or professional, whatever the hardest difficulty is, I think. But you can do that one on New Game Plus, and it's not a speed run. You just have to do it. And so in this playthrough, I'm already there now. You got to make sure you get up to 2 million, whatever, money, pesetas. So you can buy the unlimited rocket launcher. So it makes playing on professional or hardcore, whatever it is, easy. So that'll be the next playthrough. Then it's basically just speed runs after that. There's some random thing, like you have to beat the game without talking to the messenger at all. The messenger? That's not his name.
I missed that game. Yeah. The merchant?
The merchant. Yeah, without talking to the merchant.
The Duke?
You have to throw a grenade into Salazar's mouth when you fight him, which I can't do on this playthrough because I can't use him. You have to get an S rank on all the shooting range things, which I'm like, that'll be annoying, but I could do it eventually. So the only things I'm really worried about are the speed runs. But I think I can do it. It might take a while. I don't think I'm going to do it before, I don't know, what's next? Jedi? I don't think I'll do it before Jedi comes out.
2 weeks.
And then Zelda, and then, and then Final Fantasy. So I might get pulled away. But I'm going to really try to get it, and we'll see what happens.
So how many more playthroughs?
Yeah, I still absolutely love the game.
How many more playthroughs do you think you have?
At least 3.
Okay.
I got to beat it with the rocket launcher on the hardest difficulty. I got to beat it, I think, on standard with a speed run, and then hardcore with a speed run. Or I might be getting professional and hardcore flip-flopped. I don't remember. I think the hardest one, you don't have to speed run. You just have to beat it. And that'll be my infinite rocket launcher playthrough. But yeah,
is that also
I think
the
at
one
least
where you can only do 15 saves? Or?
Maybe. I don't remember where that comes into play, but
so that's it.
Yeah. That's all I've played.
Well, so I beat in the 2 weeks since we podcasted. Again, I didn't even say this at top, but yeah, we didn't podcast last week because there was literally nothing to talk about. And then when we would have recorded, there was a state of play, and there was also a trailer that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But so I think the last thing I said was about RE4 was I got to the fight with the 2 things, and that was awesome. I can't remember if I've beaten it yet or not, but I beat it. It was awesome. The whole trying to do the, stun them here and then open this thing so they fall into that stuff. It took me 3-4 tries. I can't remember if I said it last time or not, but I did. Luis is awesome in this game. Like, I didn't remember, like, I know, I didn't remember that. Ashley, at one point, I'm looking at my notes. She says that she's the master of unlocking. And I was like, thank you. That was awesome. The Krauser boss fight, no spoilers. I will say this. It was a cool fight in the original game. In this game, it's even better. Agreed?
Yeah, I think so. And they got rid of the giant, what is it called? Where you have to hit the buttons at the right time.
QTE?
Yeah, quick time event thing where that was difficult on the original. If you screw one up, you got to go back to. I hated that. It was probably my least favorite part about the original. So I'm glad that was gone.
So my thing about this boss fight, the reason I think I loved it so much was that it felt like an MGS boss fight. Like, there's supernatural crap happening. There's stealth elements. There's mines. There's the laser wire things. There's you got to pay attention. You got to disarm this thing here. And then he's talking to you from up there and you're like, what's happening? Whatever. But then it all culminates when you get up there and you fight him. And it was so freaking good. I loved it. And then some people apparently, I was saying this after I got to a certain point in the game, I was reading stuff. People were mad about how that fight ended compared to the original. Because in this, you beat the boss, he dies, and you walk into the drawbridge. In the original, there's something like, oh, cash the check, bitch, whatever. There's something stupid that he says, and it's like, well, no, this made more sense. I don't know, but then there's the whole it's almost like the part of Village when you play as a certain character from the past, where it's like when you get to this point in the game, it's kind of balls to the wall, just kill everything. There's lots of ammo, there's exploding barrels, there's turrets, there's everything. It's like whatever. Getting through that, getting to the final boss fights. Oh, also the Ramon fight. Like Sean and I have talked about this, how different the fight is. The fight in this game was amazing. I did hear when I was listening to the Sacred Symbols Plus review episode, apparently Dagan was saying when you fight Ramon, there's some part on the stairs, because like his big attacks, he's like, and he tries to eat you. There's a certain part you can get to on the stairs. It's like if you were playing Zelda 2 fighting Dark Link, and you get in the corner, you're like, you can't hit me, duck, attack, whatever. That he got to this point where like he would try to eat him. He's like, no. But I did not do that. I wasted all my ammo and everything. This game is freaking awesome. The final fight, did you do anything with the RPG until you had to?
No.
Okay. I didn't either. Apparently you can end it with one shot, and then there's the cut scene. You get the thing, and you're like, hey, or excuse me, hey, Leon, why don't you use this? So freaking good. I loved it. I love the whole the Wrecking Ball thing, the Miley Cyrus, music video thing. Like it's this game is easily right now. And I will say right now, because there's two games we're going to talk about here in a minute that are going to top this, I would hope. But this is easily right now my game of the year. It's not even close. Like I love Dead Space. That game was awesome. But I don't like.
I mean, yeah, to me, it's one of those, it's not just a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect 10 out of 10.
It's perfect. Yeah.
It's possible it might be my number 3 game of the year. It's possible it might be lower than that if everything comes out and everything hits. But like, yeah, right now it's my game of the year and it's perfect. And depending on how the rest of the things go, it might be 1, it might be, I can't imagine it's lower than 4.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the absolute bottom. But even so, like, most years, this would be a runaway game of the year, and it might not be this year. So,
yeah. So I would put this above Death Stranding. I will say that. So, like, this is obviously my favorite RE game ever, period. It's
more than
perfect.
2.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
It's perfect.
I mean, I think it is for me too, but
even the whole thing, like I saw it was a Game Scoop. Somebody was like, so are we still supposed to believe that like after Leon does all this and they're driving out of the cave and all this, and he's like, we're just going to take a jet ski all the way to Florida? And it's like, no, you're dead. Like, who knows? Also, why don't they Ashley in this is such a good character. She was not in the first game, I will say. She was annoying. Like she was like, and it was a lot of the gameplay stuff mostly where that made her annoying. But in this, she was awesome. I will say this also, Capcom is on such a roll that this almost made me buy RE5. But when I went back, I was like, okay, before I do this, hold up. Let me look at some gameplay. Oh, it's still the same thing. And I saw Angry Joe.
It's the same as 4.
Yeah, you get boom. You can't do this. Like,
well, you can do this. You just can't move while doing this.
Yes. And in 2023, I cannot play that game. I'm sorry. I can't. Like RE4 is like the OG. So I went through that 6 years ago. I cannot play through RE5 right now. Also it's racist. No, it's not. It's set in Africa. Like what are we talking about? Like a lot of, like Colin was saying, why is nobody up in arms that you're killing a bunch of Spaniards? Well, whatever. This game is freaking amazing and I love it. Like I said, it's easily my game of the year right now. I would be shocked if it goes any lower than 4. Unless somehow I play Starfield and it's amazing and then maybe it ends up 5, but like it's so weird because even if I think about this game this year, But then I think about my all-time top 10 rankings. Right now, I want to put this in the top 10, no matter where it ends up this year, which makes no sense at all.
I think it's in my top 10, but I don't know. Because I think I had the original in my top 10, easily in my top 20. And I have come around, and this is definitely, I mean, I already knew it was the better game. I think I'm to the point now where I'm like, I like it better. Still think the first one was a masterpiece, but I think this one's better. I mean, I know it's better. I think I like it better.
Resident Evil is medievaler. Zelda's Belder, Sean.
I get what you're going for, but
well, it's not like you can rhyme with evil. Okay. Anyways, also this week,
Resident Evil is Beevil.
Weevils. Bow weevils.
A bat weevil. I'm walking around all smug and self-satisfied.
All right. So the other games I played over the past 2 weeks. So I saw something from Push Square on Easter weekend that a game called Anodyne, which I've never heard of, came out in 2018. It is a top-down Zelda-like that they were comparing to Link to the Past. I would more compare it to Zelda 1, but whatever. It's a top-down action RPG where you have a broom. This game's awesome. So I've now beaten 2 dungeons. Yes, Sean, I beat a dungeon without you. It was a lot of fun. And I think I missed when I was like, I don't know where to go now, because where I think I have to go, it's blocked off, whatever. I was looking up guides, and it seems like I can, wherever I'm at, I can get a broom like widening upgrade, which is stupid, but whatever.
See, so like a push broom.
Yeah, exactly. But this game's really good. If you have PS Plus Extra and you like top-down Zelda games, I would say download this. It's a lot of fun. Sean played it for like 10 minutes, 5, and you liked it. Well, no, you played it for like a minute.
Definitely.
And John helped. Yes, John helped me get to the
it.
second dungeon. Thank you, John. Yes, because Sean and I were like, doom, we just recorded verses. Let's play this game. We don't know where we're going. Oh, my name's Barkley, and I don't know what to do. And John's like, what about that thing on the map down there? Like, why don't you go there? And we're like, and then that was where we had to go. So that was good. The only other game I've played for the first time in 9 years, I bought an MLB The Show game. Yes, I know it's on Game Pass. Yes, I know technically I have an Xbox, but my kids have stolen it and taken it upstairs. So I spent $70 because I was like, this is the first time since midway through 2017 that I was like really hyped to be a Yankees fan. And with Volpe coming up and all that, like Garrett Cole's awesome, everything's going well. I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend $70 and do it. I love this game. I'm really good at pitching, not good at hitting because of the whole trying to judge balls and strikes is tough. I really don't know what the point is in having a contact swing, a normal swing, and a power swing, because I just do X all the time. It's like sometimes it's like 495-foot home run, and then it's like, well, you popped out 3 feet in front of the plate. So, but I will say this. So after I bought it, it was something triggered in my brain where I was like, wait a minute, I think Push Square said that this is a doable platinum. And I was like, wow, what if I get my first ever platinum on a sports game for Platinum 96? So there's only 26 trophies.
What about what was that game? Not that you did it, your kids did it.
Oh, Rocket League.
That's kind of sports.
Well, yeah, but I got like one of those trophies and they got like 40. But for this, it's like, it looks like it's doable. But then I was like, okay, aside from the franchise stuff, and you got to hit back-to-back home runs in a game, which I haven't done. You got to do this, that, blah. One of the trophies is you have to complete 2 or more moments. So on the main menu, it's like you can do franchise, road to the show, dynasty, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then down below that, it's like you can do a you can do moments, arcade mode, retro mode, whatever. I was like, okay, I got to do 2 moments. Cool, whatever. I'm going through the list. I was like, well, that looks tough. Okay, I'll do that. Boom, completed it. Next one, it took me like 5 tries. I completed. I was like, okay, 2 moments. Got it. All right, trophy. Okay, maybe I have to go to another category moments. Let me go. Okay, 3rd moment. Okay, let's go to another category. 4th
See you,
moment.
John.
Bye, John. Okay, let's do 2 in this. 5th moment. Nothing freaking pops. So now I'm like, okay, well, whatever hopes I had of getting this platinum are just dashed at this point because this is stupid. I completed 6 moments across 3 or 4 different categories and no trophy has popped. And I can't find anything online saying it's broken. Like my internet's working. Everything's good. I don't know what the hell's happening. But now I'm like, well, okay, I'm just going to play through the franchise and say the hell with the trophy. But whatever.
Oh, well. I've been slacking on my
Pimping.
platinum
Turn it up.
this year.
Well, you know, the
I don't
money
know that
ain't a
I've
thing.
gotten... I haven't gotten any for like any like new games. I don't know if I've gotten any platinums this year after like, I don't know, 20 last year.
I think
I started
got
going for Dead Space
5.
and then other stuff. Oh, Prime came out. So then I haven't gone back to Dead Space. And I don't know if I was ever going to get that one, but
I think I've gotten 5. But I mean, they were cheap.
Wow.
Or maybe 8. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, that's all I played. Sean, do you want to get to the news of the week?
let's do it.
All right, Sean, we've only got 2 items on the news list, but the first one is the biggest that I can think of in a very long time. This comes from IGN. The final trailer for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom finally gave us a proper look at the King of Evil, Ganondorf. The 3-minute look at Breath of the Wild sequel was packed with new enemies, bosses, returning characters, and hints at some of the changes Hyrule has undergone in the time since the original. After teasing the character for years, Link's nemesis, Ganondorf, finally shows up in this trailer. We first see him early on in the trailer staring directly into a blood moon. Then later on in the trailer, a new rendition of Ganondorf's themes kicks in, and we see the iconic villain from the front. Nintendo of America also posted official art of the mighty Demon King. The trailer also revealed a mysterious new character with dark skin and long white hair. Also, it looks like a goat. That's me editorializing. We don't know who this is yet, but their facial expression was very sinister. This very closely resembles the character seen in the wall painting from the very first Tears of the Kingdom trailer. We're going to talk about Zelda-like a lot in this, I would assume. But that is 100% the thing from the wall, like mural thing, right, Sean? It has to be.
Yeah.
The GOAT King, whatever he is. Michael Jordan.
Greatest of all time.
Nintendo, what?
Greatest of all time.
Yes. I thought you were going to say LeBron. Nintendo also teased Zelda's role in Tears of the Kingdom, but is still leaving most of it as a mystery. We see Hyrule's princess speaking with an unnamed character who appears to be Zonai in origin. Did you think at all in this trailer that she was talking to Ganondorf? Because I did. Am I crazy?
When she's saying what?
When somebody like what we're assuming is the GOAT character thing puts his arm on Zelda. For me, I was like,
yeah,
that's Ganondorf.
No, I never thought that.
Okay, well, I'm wrong. Zelda is sporting a new haircut as well as some new jewelry. She's also seen holding a Magatama-like object that could be one of the quote-unquote tears the title of the game refers to. More about that later. The final shot of the trailer shows Zelda herself holding the Master Sword with the princess telling Link he has to find her. It also seems like we can expect more traditional Zelda bosses in Tears of the Kingdom. One shot shows Link fighting a massive spider-like enemy that evokes memory of Ocarina of Time's Goma. We also get a better look at Gleeok, the returning boss from the original Legend of Zelda. The modern champions were also confirmed to return with appearances from the Zora Sidon and the Gerudo's Riju in this trailer. Some classic, very important Zelda characters could be showing up in Tears of the Kingdom. One shot shows a character that bears a lot of resemblance to Din. Is it Din or Jin? Do you know?
Din.
The fabled goddess of power in Hyrule's origin. The final trailer began in the sky, keeping in line with much of the Tears of the Kingdom marketing so far. We saw some establishing shots of the Sky Islands before seeing Link skydive onto the land of Hyrule below. Very quickly, we see Link running through Hateno Village, a returning location for Breath of the Wild that was previously hosted the ancient tech lab. Interestingly, the trailer then cuts to a shot of the fountain just outside of Hyrule Castle. There's a settlement of new tents here, indicating that the rebuild effort mentioned at the end of Breath of the Wild is in full swing. It also seems like Hyrule citizens are going to take matters into their own hands in Tears of the Kingdom. There are multiple shots of villagers taking arms against waves of moblins, and scenes showing returning characters like Sidon fighting alongside Link. There's also a Rito character seen gliding alongside Link, and at one point, Link is towing a cart of people on horseback. Next, we see some sort of structure rising from the sand in the Gerudo area of the map. It's still too early to call for sure, but this could be the classic dungeon many Zelda fans have been hoping for. One thing that Zelda said in his video was like, Ganondorf is a Gerudo. This almost, I want to think that this is like the final dungeon to go and fight Ganondorf, but it's probably not, but whatever.
Okay, so timeout.
Yeah.
This is Din, or at least one particular
No, it's Zelda.
artist. Like, I don't know why they think that.
It's because it's IGN and like no one over there
like, you
knows what they're
couldn't be
talking
more
about.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah, like not at all does it. I don't know. I don't get that.
All right, let's finish this real quick. While the pre-release marketing has been heavily focused on the sky, this trailer took things underground. There are multiple gameplay sequences where it looks like Link is below the surface of Hyrule, including a minecart sequence where he's fighting a construct. Other quick teases shown include a sailboat that's flying in the air, a flying squirrel-looking suit that appears to improve Link's gliding ability. By the way, that Mission Impossible thing where he's going through lasers and stuff, I was like, oh my God.
That was cool. Yeah.
A large construct emerging from a wall. That's a boss fight. Link riding a small rocket ship into the air. He's not riding it. It's on his freaking... The IGN sucks. Oh my God. He's not riding anything. He puts a freaking rocket on his shield and he goes... Pew! And more. This trailer was absolutely packed with small details. I'm sure we'll be deciding on it next month. Okay, so as I've said a couple times already, if you are so hyped for this game, like both of us are, go to YouTube, search for Zeltik, Zeltik, and watch his 52-minute analysis video of this trailer. Sean, I think I'm more hyped for this. Now, I'm sure this is just hindsight, but I think I'm now more hyped for this than I was for Breath of the Wild. And when Breath of the Wild came out, I couldn't imagine ever being more hyped for a game than I was for that. Where are you at?
I don't know that I've ever been more hyped than I was for Breath of the Wild, and I don't know that I ever will be. I'm very hyped for this game, but I think that was, regardless of what I think about it now, looking forward to that game was like nothing else. That being said, I think when we did our most hyped games this year, Zelda was like 5 or 6 or 7, maybe. I don't know. It was kind of low.
Yeah, for me, it was 4.
As far as what's left, I think it's number 1.
Yep.
It's either that or fine. It's above Jedi. It's above Spidey, if it even happens. It's above the Hollow, whatever it's called. Hollow Knight, Silk Song. There you go. It's above that because I'm not even sure. I mean, I can't wait for.
I mean,
that.
it better. It was
more Hollow
It was
Knight.
my number 2 pick in our draft. It better come out this year.
But yeah, I mean, it's at least number 2, maybe number 1, and it comes down to Final Fantasy XVI. More on that in a little bit.
Yep.
But like, I'm almost more hyped for just the story and what is going on. Like the gameplay, I know what I'm going to get. I like that they didn't completely go away from the breakable weapons, but it seems like they've fixed it quite a bit.
Yep.
They're still there, but it's like less of an issue. I don't know if we're going to get dungeons, but I feel like we're 100% getting actual bosses now.
Maybe 6 to 7 bosses.
Yeah, these tiers of the kingdom. The goat mural thing has like 7 of them around. This just looks like Link to the Past, where you're collecting the stone, the diamonds, whatever they're called. Or Ocarina, where you had to rescue the sages. Like, this just reeks of like that, which has been in almost every Zelda game. So I'm definitely getting my hopes up. Hopefully not too high, but I've completely come around on this game. Like, I think between this one, this trailer, and whatever the thing that they showed before that, the gameplay, yeah, from like what, 2-3 weeks ago, like these 2 videos have completely turned it around for me. And the gameplay didn't sell me on it at first, but watching Zeltic's video of it, I was like, okay, you make some good points. No, all of a sudden, like, yeah, I'm 100% in. So, yeah.
You touched on something that I want to talk about. Like, I really think that, like, when it comes to Zelda games, the story has always been whatever, except like Skyward Sword and Twilight, I would say, right? Like, everything else, it's like the princess is in trouble, you got to go save her, whatever. This looks like the first one, especially like we're not just having this calamity. Like, obviously there's a calamity happening. There's this giant blood moon. People are saying maybe it's Ganondorf and then Demise. I cannot imagine they would bring Demise back. What I think that what's happening in that trailer is that Ganondorf, like I texted Sean, he's hulking up. Like Zeltic said, like,
I don't think it's Demise per se. If anything, it's Ganondorf like somehow merged with him or taken on his form, but like it's still Ganondorf at its core. But if that's not Demise, they're doing what they're doing on purpose. They're that is at the very least an homage to Demise. They're not, well, you can make hulked up Ganondorf look a number of different ways, and they made him look exactly
like the flowing
like
fire hair.
So, and then they're doing it for a reason.
Well, and the thing where he like starts to turn and then it like cuts, it's like, we don't want to show you who's turning, whatever. But I think this really has the potential to be the best story, which isn't saying much, the best story ever told in a Zelda game. And that's the main, like, other than that, it's like, it's Breath of the Wild, which was fun. It's breakable weapons, but they're improved. It's bosses that seem to not just be thunder, water, earth, Ganon, like whatever. It's distinct. Like freaking Gleeok. Has Gleeok ever been in a game, Sean? I don't know, since
he was in the original Zelda.
Since the first.
So the other thing, this game is giving me like, God, tell me if I'm crazy. It almost gives me like end game vibes or something. Like, this feels like it is the culmination of like everything.
This is the actual end of the time.
I think there's definitely like time travel aspects to this. Are they going to go all the way around? Like Zeltic made some good points, like when they show Zelda and she's like, I need you to find me. Like,
right,
you're standing right there. Like, why couldn't he find you? I could just run. Yeah. But there's no islands in the sky. Islands in the sky. So is that in the past? Is she trapped in the past? I think, she's got the stone that I think Zelda kind of hinted at it. I don't know if he ever came right out and said it, but like, it's yellow. Link's touches that like yellow glow, and then that lets him do all the recall stuff, which is pretty much time travel. You see this other character that kind of looks like Zelda, but doesn't really look like Zelda. You've got all of a sudden Link's in like Hyrule Castle, and it just looks like it's Hyrule Castle. It's not like in ruins. And so I'm like, and then there's the whole thing. I mean, Kevin and I texted about this a bunch today, but like, you've got Zelda. Is that Helia, the non-Zelda person? Is that Helia? Whatever.
It has to be. It has to be.
And then you've got like Ganondorf, and you've got kind of looks like Demise. You've got this whole thing just in general, the sky islands and stuff. You've got the cloud barrier, which I never even thought of, but Zeltic mentioned that. Like,
until
there's a lot of ties back to
Skyward.
There's a lot of ties back to Skyward Sword, which is the beginning. This kind of seems like the end. Is this going to be a whole time as a flat circle thing and everything just gets reset and like, and you've got the dragons that are eating each other. Is that like just time? Just we're at the end, but it's also the beginning. Like, I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Also, I was just thinking about this. I hadn't thought about this before now. The goat, whatever thing character, I want to go back now and look. Did that thing have 4 tiers under it? Because I'm thinking back now. I'm not saying that like Zelda is a goat, but when you think about it, like the one thing that was so different from the thing, the character that we think is some kind of version of Zelda or Hylia, like she's got different tattoo tiers things, but her ears, like Zelda
she's killed a lot of people.
Zelda has like the Link ears, okay? But if you look at Zelda now, and then you look at Hylia or whatever it is, her ears are like out to here. And then you look at the goat, whatever thing, and its ears are out to here. Is that goat thing Hylia? Everybody keeps saying it's a dude. I don't think that's a dude. I think that could be Helia.
I think it's a dude disguised as a dude.
That's what I'm saying. Dude. Yes, playing another dudette. Like, do you agree with me that this has the potential to be the best story ever told? Again, it's not saying much. This has the potential to be the best story ever told in a Zelda game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But again, here we are. This is like the Sonic cycle. It's like, oh, you get excited. Oh, Sonic sucks. Ooh, new game announced. Wow, that looks cool. Plays it. It sucks. Oh, wait, a new game was announced. That looks cool. Like, I don't want to get, I don't want the Zelda cycle to be the Sonic cycle, but like, man, I think now, well, we'll talk about it here in a second, as in right now. Sean, the next item on the list is the Final Fantasy XVI State of Play. This comes from Destructoid. Recap here. Final Fantasy XVI follows Clive, the protagonist, through 3 different parts of his life. Part of it shows him as a young teen, then again in his 20s, and later in his 30s. The warrior finds himself set on a quest for revenge across the world of Valisthea. Did they say this, Sean? Valisthea?
Valisthea, that sounds right. It's something like that.
Dealing with the politics and powers of the supernatural icons and massive crystals along the way. Across 25 minutes, we get a good look at Final Fantasy XVI's gameplay and systems. We've already seen some of the combat before, but today's State of Play showed more powers available to Clive in Final Fantasy XVI, themed around the various icons. Shiva freezes, Shiva Kamini Soma Kandakran, Odin slashes, and Ramu. How do I say that?
Rama, I think.
Rama brings down the thunder and lightning. Those icons play a big part in the boss fights, with Clive fighting them on foot as a human. The player can also engage in icon versus icon fights, which look absolutely massive and impressive. Many series standards.
Did you go back and watch the whole video?
Give me a second. Bahamut, okay. Phoenix, Ifrit, even Typhon. Still, I'm just as interested in the sights and sound of Valisthea. Some of the vistas and gorgeous graphics around the crystals impress me. Final Fantasy XVI is a PS5 console exclusive, and I'm hoping that focus on the new generation leads to some impressive sights. We also get a good look at the menus, systems, and RPG facets. As I mentioned in my write-up, not me, of our preview in February, Final Fantasy XVI is definitely an action RPG, striking a balance between those two aspects. Though combat is fast and frenetic, we got a good look at some of the ability and equipment upgrade sections today as well. There's also some lore to dive into and a really cool looking history section that seems like it would be fun to revisit throughout the story. We also got a solid look at the party members who can accompany Clive while you'll only control the protagonist and issue commands to his dog Torgal. You can still mosey with your party members, chat it up, and have their AI-driven help in fights. Ultimately, yes, last week's Final Fantasy XVI State of Play was largely just a big showcase of what's to come without anything too big on the news front. I feel seen. Still, it's a reminder that we do have a new Final Fantasy hitting this June, and it certainly seems like the sort of large-scale adventure you'd expect. So, Sean, I did not watch this. I was going to. But then Saturday showed up. I'm at Kroger. I'm shopping, and it's like, oh, new Sacred Symbols Plus. And like in the first 5-10 minutes, Dustin had Gene Park on from the Washington Post. And in the first 5 or 10 minutes, they were like, man, I wish I didn't watch this whole thing. And I was like, well, I'm not going to watch it. But based on everything I'm hearing from everybody, it's either this or Zelda that I think is going to bring home Game of the Year. This could come out and be a 65 on Metacritic. I cannot imagine that, but it could happen. But like, no, I haven't watched it because at this point, like they were saying, there's so many cool things in there that they're glad they saw, but they also wish there were certain things they hadn't seen, like the icon battles, like the arcade sections, like you control Phoenix and you're like in a rails shooter, whatever. But out of the two of us, obviously you're the Final Fantasy guy. What did you think of the state of play?
It did a lot of things. I mean, I was already sold on the game. I'm pretty much, there was no way I was not going to get this game.
Right.
But this last video just kind of, I literally almost had goosebumps, and I don't know why, but just like hearing the music and just watching, I think it was like fast cuts of like just, it was basically just showing the world. And it was like, as far as I could tell, it was in-game foot, like just following the character walking around. But I'm just like, this looks so beautiful. The music is perfect. I'm like, this just looks like a world that I'm ready to just dive into.
Yep.
It's a little thing, but I'm like, I'm having a hard time getting over Clive. There's one thing, I don't know if you said it in your recap, but there's one thing that they said that's not really a spoiler, but I'm like, I don't know, I kind of wish I didn't know that, just about the gameplay and how it plays out, I guess. I like that. I can see a lot of people not liking it, but I really like the fact that you only control Clive.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest dislikes about 7 Remake is I didn't mind the combat, but I feel like the combat and switching characters just never really clicked for me. I don't know, I'd rather just focus on one person. And I loved Crisis Core kind of for that very reason, because you just only control one person. The combat is perfect, and it's just, you don't need to worry about switching.
Yep.
But you never really had, I mean, I guess sometimes you had people fighting with you, but like, you're just him, just do your thing. And that's how this is going to be. You are just Clive. And apparently they've not really shown anything, but they are doing some kind of like a gambit system from 13 or 12. They make it sound like it's very just AI driven, but I'm sure you can still have inputs like, hey, heal me if my health gets below 30%. You know, right. I'm sure you can do commands that, you know, I mean, that's how the gambit system worked. I assume there's something similar, but like the icon battles were like one of the things that I'm like, I hope that's not all the boss fights. And I don't think it's going to be, but it sounds like that's a good number of them. A, they look fantastic, the ones they showed. And B, it seems like, and I think they explicitly said this, like they're all different. Like you said, the one with Phoenix, it's like a rail shooter. You're like flying around. They're not all just like, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think one of the best things I heard in it was that you only control Clive.
Yeah.
To me, that sells me on it more than anything. Like that puts any fears I had about the combat system to rest. Like I'm not worried about it at all anymore. And like I was texting you, like one thing I came away from this video with was, I don't know that this is going to be the best game ever. I don't know that it's going to be the best looking game. I don't know that it's going to be the biggest. I don't know that it's going to be the most fun, whatever, but just the whole thing, the whole package.
Yep.
It might be the most, and the only word I can think of was epic, like the most epic game ever. Like the music is amazing. The world looks pretty big and just awesome. These icon battles are crazy. It's pretty dang beautiful. Like it just looks not massive in scale, but it probably is, but just everything all together. It's just going to be like, I can't wait. I don't know. And now that I'm talking about this, I'm like, nah, maybe this is above Zelda.
Yeah, and
I don't
you
know.
talking about it
It's
is
a
like,
toss-up.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things Colin always talks about is production per square inch. And he says Naughty Dog does it better than anybody. And like I said, I hate Last of Us 2, but technically it's perfect. It's great. Story sucks, but it's a technical masterpiece. This though, I'm like, it's the same thing. Like the screenshots I saw where it's like the castle and there's this giant spire that goes up and then there's this giant ice crystal, whatever thing behind it. And I'm like, this is like AAA. So one of the things I heard on podcast was like Square Enix has been chasing Advent Children ever since it came out, trying to replicate that in a game form. And they think that now with this game, they're finally going to get there. Like the quote unquote cutscenes in the movie, which is just a movie, whatever. Like they're finally getting that kind of energy and stuff into a Final Fantasy game. 15 was their first foray, and now it's 7 years later and whatever. But yeah, I do think like production per square inch, as Colin says, this just looks like it's going to be insane. Like the vistas that I've only seen in screenshots because I don't want to spoil myself. Like this looks absolutely ridiculous. And again, I've never bought a new Final Fantasy game. I don't count 7 Remake because it's a remake. I've never bought a Final Fantasy game on release before this one. And this, like, I would be shocked this year if Zelda or this are not my game of the year. Now, I could be setting myself up for tremendous disappointment, but I don't think so. Like, Square Enix has been working on this game for the last year. A year ago, they said, it's ready. We're just going to polish it for a year. Boom, done. Okay, cool. This game should be damn near as good as it can be at launch. You know what I mean? And with Nintendo, we know we're going to get that with Zelda. It's going to be as good as it can be at launch. It's going to be Metacritic. I don't even know. Damn it, Derek. Like, you're going to win the fantasy draft just because of this game. It's going to be a 97 or freaking 98 is what I think. Final Fantasy 16 now at this point, I don't remember who drafted it. It's over 90. If it's under a 90, I'd be shocked at this point. But I don't know if that's just me. Like, I don't know.
I feel like there's an obvious, Zelda will get the Nintendo bump. It will. But Final Fantasy kind of gets I don't want to say like a free pass as well, but yeah, like this game is not going to be below 90. I cannot believe it would be.
Well, and also Sony gets bumped too. Like, to be honest.
Well, that too. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like if I had to pick one, like if I could only get one of these games, I guess I would pick Tears. But man, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be tough. That's like Sophie's choice.
Yeah, like I guess it's Tears because in name it's still Zelda. And I hope this game's going to be a lot more Zelda than BOTW was, but I don't know. Like this year at the end of the day, especially like I was saying on Discord, if Starfield hits and it hits hard, this is probably going to go down as one of the best years ever in video games, period. Like it's going to be up there with 98, 2007, 2009, like 94 was awesome. Like this is going to be one of the best years ever if all these games hit and they hit as well as we're hoping they will. So,
yeah.
All right, Sean, time for the wrap up. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League after reports from Bloomberg has been officially delayed to next year. 2/2/24. So it doesn't matter if you're here or if you're in Europe or the UK. 2/2/24 means the same date. They have delayed this game by 9 months, which means by the time this stupid game comes out, it's going to be almost 9 years since Arkham Knight. Rocksteady put out Arkham Asylum in 2009, Arkham City 2011, Arkham Knight 2015. And now they're going to put out the purple shooter game 9 years later. I don't know why would they delay this for almost a year? You cannot change the game, right? Like at this point,
it is what it is. Yeah.
I don't get it. Like if you want to get out of May to get away from Zelda, I get that. But just like get rid of the battle pass stuff. Like you could change all that kind of crap and still get it out this year. I don't know. Do you care anything about this game? Because this honestly, I would hope that this delay would make me go, oh, well, maybe they'll fix it. Now I'm like, I care about it even less. Like you jump in the air, you're Harley Quinn is Spider-Man and you shoot purple zits. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I had a passing slight interest in it at one point, and it's only gone down from there. And it's flat out 0 now.
Yep. I agree. Resident Evil 4 has been announced, has now sold over 4 million copies. I feel like I can't remember. So I think Resident Evil 6 is the best selling RE game, I think, which is wild. I got to think over the years, this will end up number 1 because the original game was so damn near perfect. And then you remake it and you make it even better. I got to think this ends up number 1 for the RE games.
Yeah.
Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon has been rated in Korea. I can't remember who drafted this. Do you remember?
I
think somebody did.
Derek? Oh, somebody definitely did.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But the fact that it's been rated makes us think it's going to come out this year. But I just still want to know, when is Elden Ring DLC coming out?
Yeah, we still got that to look forward to.
At this point, it's going to be next year. And by the way, next year it's going to be eligible for Game of the Year, period. If friggin' Witcher Blood and Wine can win, best RPG when it's a DLC, then we can do that. Nintendo announced that the Nintendo Live Fan Fest is coming to Seattle this September. So 2 things I think here. So this is basically Nintendo's PSX. RIP. We're going to get this fall, similar to 7 years ago, we're going to find out what the next Switch is. Switch 2, Switch U, whatever it's going to be called. And Mario Odyssey 2, Mario Galaxy 3, Super Mario Brothers 4, whatever the hell they call it, is going to be playable at this thing. And they're going to do like they did at E3 in 2016, where there's 100 booths and they're all Breath of the Wild. Boom, go play it, whatever, 10 minutes, do what you want to do. I think we're definitely getting an announcement for new Switch hardware coming out spring next year. And we're getting a new Mario game that launches with it. Am I off base, or do you think any of this is going to be possible?
I think you've got the right idea. I think your timeline is way off.
You think it's this?
This is
Nintendo.
Think it's
next fall?
I don't know, but this is Nintendo, who can only put like one new NES game on the arcade thing like every 6 months. So no, I think you're right. I think we have to see a new Mario game. I think we have to see some kind of new hardware. Is it a new Switch? Is it an iteration on the Switch? Is it, who knows? But I think we get some kind of announcement, but I think it might be, depending on how much of a whatever it is from the Switch departure, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be 2025. I mean, I have no idea, but I think I think we'll see something, or at least hear about something.
But the Switch has been out for 6 years, and it is like a PS2 Plus.
That's true. Yeah.
Either way, I kind of want to expense a company trip to Seattle in September with you.
I was just thinking, I'm like, it's Seattle. That's doable. Never been.
It's a write-off, whatever for our.
Can we get our little Zoom thing back from Ernie and just podcast?
Oh, I will stone cold stun his ass to get it back. Joseph Staten has left Microsoft for Netflix, and he's working on a new AAA IP. Also, Frank O'Connor, a longtime Halo director, has left Xbox as well. this is why I keep like agreeing with Colin that like Starfield has to be 94, 95 on Metacritic. Like Xbox is a tire fire. And I wish someone like, if I could sit down and talk to somebody like Colin, Greg, whatever, that like knows the industry. If 6 years ago, Microsoft did not announce Game Pass, would there be an Xbox? And honestly, I don't think so. Everybody likes to say Phil Spencer is this god, whatever. He has honestly mismanaged. Like Microsoft has given him a blank checkbook, and he has mismanaged everything. It's not him. It's Matt Booty. It's all the studio heads, whatever. But like, you have two of the names that are associated with your marquee franchise leaving Xbox after you flubbed the launch of the last Halo game. And everything else is like, well, we announced Hellblade 2 5 years ago. It's going to come out at some, like, I don't know, man. Like, this is not being a Sony pony, blah, 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 whatever. This is just like, if Starfield doesn't hit hard, it's over. Like, I don't care if you have freaking Game Pass. Like, you have a bunch of games that nobody wants to play. Who cares? Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, we kind of said the same thing about Halo, and it was good, but they messed it up. Like, it did not hit as hard as it should have. This is like their, you've got one more chance. If this, I'm not saying like Xbox goes under if it's not at least a 90, but like it kind of has to be at least a 90. If it's like good, not great, that's, I don't know, not a good look.
And also, why did you delay it like 15 times?
Right.
Speaking of Sony, Media Molecule announced that they're ending support for Dreams this September. Also, Mark Healy, who's the co-founder of Media Molecule and the Dreams director, has left the company. Dreams, I don't get it. Like, I don't know why it's not on PC. I don't know why it's not on PS5. Like, I don't know what they were ever thinking with this thing. Like, this is the company that invented the original Sackboy, and it was awesome. And then they do this thing where it's like, no, you can recreate the Seinfeld apartment, whatever. Like, but you can't export it, you can't sell it, you can't do whatever. Also, it's not on PC where it'd be way easier. I don't know what anybody expected, but like, I got to think we're going to hear in the next year that Media Molecule has just been shut down. And I hate that. I hope everybody's okay. This studio is not long for the world. Would you agree?
Probably, yeah.
Redfall will be launching with only quality mode available on all Xbox consoles. Performance patch will be coming later. We're in 2023. These stupid systems launched 2.5 years ago. And Microsoft, their first big first-party release, honestly, since Forza, however many years ago that was, doesn't even have a performance mode. And this is why I'm like, what is Phil doing?
Wait a minute, I'm confused. So what about all the teraflops?
They're there, man. They're there, man. You have it's not all on Phil, obviously, but like, and again, if Sony would have said God of War is only going to have 30 frames per second at launch, I would have been like, what the hell's wrong with you? What are we talking about? Zelda, I'm not going to say anything because we're running on like a PS2. Like I said, whatever. Who cares? This is ridiculous. And we know Starfield, there's no way it hits 60 FPS. There's no way. I don't. And this game, but it's going to be like, well, it launched on Game Pass, so who cares? Well, but that's their whole model. Like, if Game Pass games are just
right, it doesn't have to be good because it's free.
Right. Well, then I again, like I said, this whole thought experiment, if they didn't launch Game Pass, I feel like Xbox would be dead in the water. If it was not owned by Microsoft, if this was like a venture capital firm, whatever, this would not exist anymore, period. This is ridiculous. I don't care anything about Redfall at all, but this is just asinine in my mind.
Yeah.
Sega went back to the year 2011 and purchased Rovio for almost $775 million. So are we gonna have
Sonic
like
3 is gonna cross with Angry Birds?
I was gonna say we're gonna have Redbird doing like a beam, beam, beam. I don't know. This makes no sense. Like Ravio, whatever they're called. This was like 10 years too late, at least. We got a trailer for Resident Evil Death Island. It's coming out July 7th in theaters. I don't think I'd ever heard of this. Have you?
No, I don't think so.
It's got.
This seems like this should just be a Netflix thing.
Well, that's what I assumed it was until Wario said it was coming out in theaters. So it's like it's Leon, Claire, Jill, Chris, some chick I don't know.
But from what if I saw what I think I saw, I feel like what I saw on Twitter of like stills from it, Jill looks like RE3 make Jill.
Yep.
But I feel like nobody else really looks like they're in-game.
No, Claire does.
Or maybe
Claire
they
does.
just nailed it with, does she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
Jill
is like they took the model out of that and just put it in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll watch it when it comes to Netflix. Street Fighter 6 is getting a digital streaming event this Thursday. I continue to be hyped for this, even though I don't know why, because I'm going to be so busy with Zelda and then FF16, but whatever. THQ Nordic's community manager has denied claims that AEW Fight Forever is, quote, basically ready. Basically, what he said was, if you want us to put out an incomplete game, fine, but you're going to be pissed. So I don't know when this game's coming out.
Yeah.
Gamescom opening night live is coming back August 22nd with Jeff Keighley hosting. Yay. I don't know. Like, I have no hopes for Summer Game Fest or this, especially since they're like 2 months apart. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Super Bomberman.
Like, yeah, they're just gonna like go out of their way to
delay stuff,
artificially split things. Yeah, just split things between the two because we got two shows, so both will end up okay to good instead of good to great.
Yep, I agree. Super Bomberman R2 has been confirmed to be coming out in September on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and everything in betwixt. Immortals of Avium, which is the magical first-person shooter from EA, looks like the release date has leaked for July 20th. So that's happening. Hidetaka Miyazaki has been named one of Time's 100 most influential people in 2023.
Awesome.
He is the second ever video game developer to be named to this list, with Miyamoto in 2007. So 2007 was Galaxy. But I don't know why. So that must have been like a lifetime achievement thing. Whereas Miyazaki getting this for Elden Ring, it's not, I mean, it's kind of a lifetime thing, but it's Elden Ring took over the world, you know?
Yeah.
We got announcements for PS Plus extra games in April. They include Kena, Bridge of Spirits, which Sean cheated at, Doom Eternal, Riders Republic, Wolfenstein 2, and the Old Blood DLC, Slay the Spire, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, The Evil Within, and Sackboy's Big Adventure, which sucks. We streamed that for 2 hours, and we like 20 minutes in, we were like, why are we doing this? I know we have
2 hours.
Yes. I feel like we're both like, I know we have PS5s, but like, can we go to bed? This sucks. Also, we got the PS Plus premium games for April, which include Doom, Doom 2, Doom 64, Doom 3, and Dishonored Definitive Edition. These are all the PS4 versions. I mean, you got premium. Are you going to go back and play Doom? There's no final Doom. I hate that.
I mean, probably not. I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal. I don't know about Doom and Doom to like, maybe someday if I'm really bored, but it sounds like I'm going to have more than enough to play the rest of this year.
Yeah, you should try Doom Eternal because you're better than I am. And I got to like the 3rd or 4th level, I think. And then it was just, it was too much. But I feel like you'd be, because you were able to platinum Eternal, I feel like you'd be better at this because it's so fast moving, kinetic. Like you got to kill people with a chainsaw and then punch them in the face to get your shield back, and then to get your ammo, and then you got to kick them in the dick to get your shield, whatever. Like there's so many things that I feel like you would be better suited for this game than I was when it came out. But at least I played this instead of Animal Crossing at release. Sean, that is it for episode 318 of the Two Player Co-op podcast. Bless you, mother. That's it for this episode. I don't even know what I just said because I tried to bleep out my swear. So Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.